Alright, let's actually do this properly. Let's get an earbud in here. Check, check. Hello. Let me make sure I can hear the stream. Alright, let's actually do this properly. Let's get an earbud in here. Check, check. Hello. Okay, looks good. Looks good. Okay. Let us share this. Come say hello. All right, I'm gonna be doing some stuff. Cool, cool, cool. All right, so today, I don't know who's in here. I haven't looked at chat yet. Probably no one. I'm just going to be doing controller support is like one of the last things I need to do. I'll make sure that this is not deafeningly loud. Hey, Bolo, what's going on? I've seen you in here before. You're in the Discord, right? Hey, Brody. The agenda today is, sorry, I don't know if the audio is deafening here. Actually, you know what I'll do? I'll turn my master down here, so that way what I hear is what you guys hear. The agenda today is controller testing. It's like one of the last things I need to do. How's the audio? Everything good? Okay, alright, so one of the annoying things about the game, and I don't know how to fix this, this is a very small thing, but as soon as you literally like touch the controller, it steals the mouse input. Like literally if I move the if I shake the controller, the game identifies that the gamepad wants to be used, which is a little less than ideal. Also, the game is not going to look like this in the release. I could play the release build. Maybe I should do that, actually. What I can do is I will turn off debug mode. All right, let's see what that does. I can go full screen here too. I don't need to be in the dev window. So this is what it will look like. Ooh, okay, I've never actually tested the invite friends button with the gamepad. Steam overlay disabled. Why? All right, we're not off to a great start here. My Steam overlay, this happens sometimes in the debugger. When you launch a Steam game like from inside an engine, the Steam overlay doesn't always connect to it. So let's try this. Excuse me. Yeah, so I'm not getting the Steam overlay. At least I have my little message here works, so that's good. But it's not happy about that. That's fine. I will test that later once it's out. You know what I can do now, actually? This build is live on Steam. The demo's not published, but if you have like dev access, then the build is there. Let's find out if that Steam overlay actually works. Okay, cool. All right, that's fine. Yeah, in the actual Steam release, the button works fine, so that's good. Okay. The reason I want to debug from the editor is just in case I need to, like, Godot is pretty sweet. You can actually change code at runtime, and you can, like, stop and debug and print stuff. If you need to. All right. We don't need to render at 100%, but I optimized the crap out of the game lately, so we should be able to play it at 100%. I added bloom, so maybe we'll get to see bloom in the game a little bit. But actually, I'm tempted to just purge all the data and do it fresh. Actually, I am going to do that. So let's do this. Yes, delete all. And we shall see. For a second here. Oh, okay, that's fun. Interesting. All right, so basically when you immediately launch the game, controller support doesn't work. That's fun. Okay, I gotta fix that. So with my controller plugged in here, I'm not getting a focus on any of these things, so that's not gonna work. So let's take a look. I do really want to see the bloom in the game eventually. Catch that in a non-debug view. Oh, start canvas layer. It's this thing. So when we show the brightness panel, I need to focus on that slider, and then we should be good. Okay. Should be fine once we make that change. Run brightness setup. Okay, yeah, I just got to focus brightness, H slider, grab focus. Let's find out if that does the job. Okay, cool. All right, so now we have focus. Reduce brightness until you can barely see the word Bushcraft. So I need to work on this a little bit because the game looks better with a slightly higher contrast level. And I've tested this on 2 monitors and it's the same in both cases. So what I need to decide is does the game have a slightly higher contrast as the baseline? I don't know. Oh, okay. And then when we show the title screen, we need to focus that guy. That's not happening? That's crazy. That is crazy. Title screen show. Grab the focus of the top element in the start V-box. Oh. That's weird. What happened here? Brightness okay. Oh, okay, it's not calling the right function. So I have to do this again. Sorry, I know this is painful if you're watching. This is what playtesting is like. You do things. Oh, this is my cat. Say hello. Say hello to cat. Did you just use a litter box? I have to pause the stream for a second. I'm so sorry. All right, I'm back. I hope this is using the right audio input. Let's see. Yeah, I think it is. Okay, we try this again. Hopefully I'll get into some actual gameplay in a bit. But right now, it's just the laborious testing of the gamepad. There's something weird with the focus here too. I don't love how that works. Yeah, that's kludgy. But I don't know how to fix that right now, actually, because of how that menu works. Okay, so this works now. We can crank up the contrast a little. Something like that. Settings are good. That now auto-focused. Okay, good. Okay, so we're just gonna... I'll turn down the master volume too. That's probably too loud. Uh-oh. Cinematic camera. The cinematic camera is only supposed to be used in debug mode, so that is interesting. Okay. Let's try that. I'm working on some other cameras for basically getting footage, gameplay footage. Getting more bugs. Consider this should probably be queue free. I think that should be queue free. And what's funny is that this particular bug does not happen in the release build. This doesn't happen when you just play the game on Steam. It's something to do with being in debug mode. Okay. Why did we get the tracking pop up right away? Is it because we're right on top of a... Let's see something. Why did I get the tracking pop up? That is not... Show all trails. Show trails? That is true. There is something weird about running this in debug mode like this. Let's try something else. So it should be turning game debug on. That's so weird. That is so strange. Let's try this again. Okay. That turns debug on. Okay. Interesting. So there's a trail, there's a trail. That pop-up should not have appeared. That's the problem. And because I don't test the game like with a brand new save file every time, sometimes I don't see this stuff. Why did that happen? All right, let's try that again. It was the tracking pop-up. So there should be... Show new guide. That's what I'm looking for. So the one that's for tracking. Okay, interesting. If it's not visible, how do we get to here? Oh, okay. This is the first time you get the guide, so there's something buggy about that. What is the logic here? So, for all the trails, if the trail is disabled, okay, I get the problem. I think this trail should be disabled eventually, but it's not. I think we need to wait until the ski lodge is loaded. If not, instance valid game ski lodge return. So we're not going to do any trail processing until the ski lodge is loaded. Let's try that. And I'm going to delete the save file in a different way. We're just going to delete the... Yeah, I guess the save data. Why is there any save data? That's weird. Okay, we try again. I don't think that should be happening. Like, this should not be happening right here. Let's try again. Will it happen? Okay, I think that one's fixed. So once the ski lodge is loaded in, those trails in the immediate vicinity get disabled. That's how that works. Oh. Uh-oh. My pause menu does not work with the gamepad anymore. Oh, crap. I remember removing something about this. That was clearly important. Oh, that's not an easy fix. Let's see. Pause menu. I believe there's a signal when the tab changes. Yeah. Okay. I had some code in here, at one point in time. I need to grab the focus of whatever tab slot. I kind of need to look up the correct way to do this in Godot. In Godot for how to grab focus of tab container child when tab is changed. Yeah, I guess it's whatever control is visible. And these are all panels. So like right now the inventory control is active, but this is just a panel map. So if we do that, can I just get the control of the grid container? Will that work? Okay, we're gonna give it a shot. So for C and TC dot get children, find out which one is visible. If C is visible, why is that not a thing? Oh, because this needs to be a control. If C is visible, then we got to do C get child 0 grab focus. I feel like this is not gonna work. No. Yeah, for each tab, I think I need to specify what the proper first element is. That's going to be a giant pain. But I need to do it. I can't push this off anymore, because if I release this and people start to play with the controller and they're like, what the heck? I can't navigate the pause menu. Ah, that's a bummer. Okay. So I think the way I'm going to do this is I'm going to set up a dictionary that maps the child element here. I got to map them all too. So I need to add inventory and map. And maps them to the first element. So let's call this a focus tab, focus map, dictionary that maps a control to another control. And so the first one is going to be, I don't know if you can do this actually. We'll find out. Can inventory map to tools flow container focus? Oh, this is going to get complicated because this is a dynamically generated UI element. I don't know what kind of focus it's going to get. Mode none. So the node cannot grab focus. Okay, so I think I need to implement that. We'll step through this. So inventory is going to be tools to flow container. What do you mean it's not defined? I just dragged it. Did I not? Okay. Oh, this is going to be a tangly change. All right, we'll see if this works. Map is going to go to, hopefully this one's simpler. If map is visible, we're going to go to recenter map. Okay, so that one is a known button that we can just grab the focus of. So that makes that one easy. We'll call that recenter map. Recenter map. I don't know what's going on with the autocomplete right now. Godot is really not happy at the moment. Bushcraft guide needs to, I can't remember, like why is this a problem? Is this something, I feel like this is something I'm doing wrong. Does this have a focus? Focus mode, none. Oops, let's drop my controller. Yeah, that's a pain. I think this is how you do this. You have to manually specify what elements to grab. Oh boy. Okay. So this one should be the search button. So bushcraft guide.search. Hopefully that's... Does that really have a... And getting rid of that space. Oh, this is going to be painful. We'll see. I don't know if this is going to work. I think this might need to be on ready. This dictionary that I'm putting together. This might need to be on ready. Oof. Oof, oof, oof. Bushcraft guide goes to... This might not even be something that I can do. Man, why is there so many spaces in the names? I never used to do that. Skill tree. All right, let's fix that up. Oh, this one's going to be also annoying. Skill 1, so I think that's going to be skill 1. Inventory, skill tree. Skill tree dot skill 1. Okay, maybe. This is getting tangly. And then settings is going to be the settings button at the top, which hopefully... gameplay settings? Gameplay settings. Okay. I do not care about debug, but I will do the multiplayer panel. Does this even have any? No, I don't think the... Oh, it does. Never mind. The multiplayer panel has one checkbox. Username checkbox. Multiplayer... Okay. Multiplayer panel goes to username checkbox. Is that not... Huh. Oh, just multiplayer. Okay, so I can't call this multiplayer. Okay, so even this is not going to properly work, but at first for the tool panel, but we'll see. So if is visible, we're going to say if C is in tab focus map C, grab focus. Okay. I'm skeptical that this will work at all, actually. It feels like something's wrong here. Like I'm missing something about how the tab container is supposed to be implemented. But we shall find out. Oh, hello. How did we get that right away? Tab container. How is that null? Because we're not ready yet. So bizarre. If instance valid, if not instance valid, TC, then return Okay, well, it didn't crash this time, so that is some progress. And it doesn't work. What the heck? Okay. So, let's find out what's going on. C is, what is C here? Control. It should be a panel. I don't know why it's not. Whoa, okay. Tab bar. It adds a tab bar node. Huh. Okay. Interesting. Okay. Okay, here's a panel. Interesting. Oh, it's like behind by one. Ah, on TC tab changed. Yeah, this is not the right approach. Okay, it's not quite visible yet. It's probably visible in the next frame. TC get tab, get current tab control. That's what I want. Duh. Okay. Let's do this. And that should return a control. Yeah. Returns to child control located at the active tab index. Okay, we try this. And then hopefully this works. Hey, okay. All right, we have focusing. It's a little jank, but does it work? Hey, the scrolling works. Okay. Sweet. The only one that's not going to work is this one, and I know why this one doesn't work. And we can kind of fix this in an ad hoc way. There's a more proper way to fix this, where you set the focus of the scroll container. But I'm going to say if C equals inventory, we're going to do a slightly different behavior. We're going to get tools, flow, container, get child 0, grab focus. Okay. Oh, sweet. Okay. All right. So that works. That is finally fixed. That's been a thorn in my side for too long. Okay. So one can now play the game. I just realized I need to load this into another function. Function, focus, tab, control. When the pause menu comes visible, we need to do that as well. So there's one more thing we need to do. So process, blah, blah, blah. Toggle pause, resume, get tree pause equals false. Oh, I did this. This code we're looking at here is over a year old. And I do not like how it is coded. There's some smart stuff in here. It's fine. It's fine. Resume. Okay. And then pause should also listen for the state change. That's how when I first started coding this game, that's how I did all of these big systems, is that they listen for the state change in the game state. Okay. Sure. Populate tools, update tools, and then finally we're gonna focus tab control. All right, let's see. Doth it work? Nope. Why not? Okay, now it works. That is... Oh, I hate tab containers a little bit. I really need to redo this UI at some point. Like, whenever I get time. Like, the fact that I have to put a little await in there is just kind of disgusting. Alright. Controls be working. That's good. Tool hints look decent. Left and right appears to be correct. I think we're just going to jump right in and do the tutorial, I think. I haven't done the tutorial in a little while, and it's probably good for me to actually completely do it and see what happens. All right, so... Hello, tutorial. Okay, first you need to collect tools. Flint and striker is used to start fires. Go find it. I know where it is, so that makes me a very bad playtester. I think that hint was incorrect. Oh, crap. All right, we gotta do it again. I gotta go back. Quit. We're doing it all over. Settings. Delete all save data. Yes. I'm so used to the controls that I didn't read what the button hints were. And I think the button hints are wrong. Okay, that stuff still works. That's good. Cool. We try again. All right, so I'm going to start this up. Inspect items with X. Is that right? Okay, it is right. Pick them up by holding RT. Okay, so the instruction there is good. Okay. Collect the hatchet. The hatchet is a sturdy and fundamental piece of gear for woodcutting. Switch to your hands by pressing LB and hold RT to collect. Okay. So far, so good. Next, collect the belt knife and folding saw. These are supplementing, but switch to your hands with LB. Yeah, it's a little clunky. I don't love that, but what can you do? Okay, so all quick slots are filled currently. Next is steel pot. Use this to cook and melt snow for drinking water. Okay, done. Next, the whetstone. I finally tuned down the brightness on this model. This model was like glaringly bright before, and now you can actually read it. Oh, and I'll show you. So the bloom, if I have it enabled, I don't know if it's enabled. Yeah, so bloom should be on by default. I did some testing. It is a tiny performance hit, but not really that significant. For me, it made no major difference on my machine. But yeah, you get a little bloomy lighties. Took a little bit of tuning to make sure the whole game doesn't just blow up with bloom, but I think that's fine. This guy's still chilling. What are you saying? Who's that? Oh, just a young feller. Oh, this doesn't work for controller. I think this is an easy fix. Okay, I think we need to allow, what is A? A is jump, or yeah, A is jump. We need to enable A to be a forward on, move the dialogue forward. Dialogue.gd. If, okay, yeah. So var next input, we're gonna do this. I think I gotta allow jump. Oh, and jump should be disabled during, I think it will be by default. I think it's gonna be fine. Input is action just pressed. Jump, yeah. We can use string names here. Oh, I'm so bad for that. I think I need to, let's just do a quick just pressed find. Okay, not too bad. Debug cam, that doesn't really matter. Interact, we'll fix that. Build mode, yeah. String names are way faster. I saw a huge performance boost with string names. And now the thing about this thing is I need to grab focus. Forgot to do that. Okay, so once that answers are populated, blah, 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 blah. Okay, here we go. Answer, this one should be easy. Answers, VBox. Let's do it properly. If len, answers VBox get child count is greater than 0. Answers VBox get child O grab focus. It doesn't know it's a control yet, but a little runtime polymorphism is fine here and there. That didn't work. Okay. Why did it not work is the question. It should have. Does that not show anything for focus? Oh, interesting. What is happening there? Grab focus is not working. Why? This is just a button. There's nothing fancy about this. Something else is pulling the focus away, maybe. That is confusing. Let's try printing answers VBox. Get child 0. I think I could do it here as well. Yeah, let's try here. This is simpler. I don't know why I didn't think of this. Button, grab, focus. We'll try this. I don't think this is technically any different, but oh, that works. Okay. Don't know why. But sure, we'll go with it. It works. Okay, so we can now talk with the controller. Yay! Good. I'm freezing my arse off. Okay, we'll see what he does. He's supposed to, after talking to him, I believe he's supposed to walk around. Oh, there he goes. Running around like the madman he is. Old Man Joe is based on a real life person. I don't know if I'm going to tell them or not. He's an old man, so I don't think he plays video games. He's not green in real life. I kind of want to have the AI be a little smarter. Technically, he can like go upstairs and stuff. But it would be nice if he like stopped and like made commentary on things that are happening in the room. But I'll call that polish because it's not like super important. I think he has basic avoidance. Like we can kind of get in his way and he'll try to like go around. I think he's stuck right now. Yeah, he's trying to figure out how does he get out of here. Anyways, I will continue with the tutorial. Okay. Got it. Finally, switch to your hands with LB and hold RT to collect it. We need some cordage. You need cordage to build. That's one of the new changes for anyone who's played the playtest. Cordage is finally implemented in a meaningful way. It's just one more way that you're supposed to plan. Right? So far so good. Nothing's totally broken. We left the front door open. Maybe I can close the front door. I don't need to be a jerk. Beep. Alright, old man won't freeze. So walk towards a green medium tree until you see a target dot. Oh, I really shouldn't show anything when the tutorial is open. Is that because we're on a tracking trail? I don't know how I feel about this. Like, supposedly there's a trail around here somewhere. I need to take down the intensity on the brightness of the snow, I think. Because how the hell are you supposed to see anything during daytime? I'm going to put a polish note for that. Visuals are fairly tuned in, but the snow's too bright, I feel. I mean, this is what it's like. Like, if you go out in the wintertime in the forest and there's snow, it is blinding when you walk out into an open field. Anybody who's done that knows that experience, but I think in a video game it can be distracting, right? Like, Maybe. It really depends on the brightness of your monitor and all that stuff. Press start to pause and check how many bows you have collected. That's really not very readable. You can skip tutorial steps from the pause menu if you, I should say if you need to, if you want to. Sure, that's fine. Okay, so we've got, is there a tooltip? Oh, there is a tooltip. So these tooltips are not appearing on focus. All right, that I believe is an easy fix. So inside pause, populate tools. Yeah, it's this whole thing. Show tooltip. Yeah. So I think it's going to be annoying, but we just add tool UI focused, something focus entered. Oh, okay. Hello. It's a button, so it should have focus entered, focus exited. I don't know why that auto hint is not appearing. That is weird. Okay, well, we're going to do it anyways. So I think we just copy these two lines. So for instance, we copy these two, we change it to focus entered and focus exited. I don't know. That is so bizarre that autocomplete doesn't come up. Actually, none of them are coming up now that I look at this. Something's not super happy. Oh, hey, that works. Okay. That is an easy fix, luckily. Luckily, that's an easy fix. So this one here is also going to be, I think it's these two? Maybe? I had all this done before, but I refactored this whole system and then I forgot to do this part. So that'll do it. That's Quick Tools. Quick Tools doesn't need this. I just wasted some time. Populate inventory, that needs it. Focus, and then bundles need it as well. Focus and focus. Carry limits? Yes, I think. I believe. Godot's cool. Godot's cool sometimes. You can just do stuff like that, change it while the game's running. Okay. There's some weirdness here, that's for sure. There's no current way to get to the carry limits, but that's fine. Okay, bundles don't need that. Bundles, it's not, there's no requirement there. What happens if I... Okay. There's some weird, oh, I did something. And I don't know if I ever reverted it. Let's see. I raised up the terrain to do some testing at one point. By like 0.0 meters, 0.01 meters or something. I hope I didn't forget to revert that. Okay, no. So that visualization is not there. But what I'm noticing is when I drop things on the ground, the collision is just slightly below the surface. All right, back to this. While holding down the blah, 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 press the action by pressing down. This lets you do the action. You can release. That almost happens a little too fast. That audio is loud again. Let's turn that back. Oh, that tooltip actually reads pretty well. Pressing In on the right joystick. Okay, I was curious if that looked any good. Although you just felled a tree with a hatchet, the folding saw works faster than the hatchet. Switch to it now by pressing RB repeatedly. Felled logs can be cut into firewood or smaller logs. Press X and select small logs to saw it into smaller pieces. Okay. Interesting. Okay, I think there was one issue in the tutorial where people were accidentally sawing this into firewood because they didn't do this extra step of pulling up this menu. And I think this is fixed now, because if you just blindly go in here and saw it up, it does the correct action. Okay, so the default one is now the correct one. Switch to your hands, crouch, press Y to return to build node, place it back down on the ground, check. Crouch again and pick up the log again. Now you know how to pick up and put down objects. Cool. Find two trees that are roughly an arm's width apart. Sure. Connect them by holding RT. That bug is still happening. Let's didn't happen then, see? When does this happen? I need to fix something here. This is pretty deep in the code, and this has been a long time coming, but this needs to be fixed. So, in the inventory actions, under place log enable. Okay. We need to make sure the target is not the same as the original target. Like, why does this happen? See, that is... What the hell? Why is it dependent on how far you are from the target? That doesn't make sense. This is a short log, so it's between 0.7 and th. What's th? Print th. Or actually, no, we can debug here. 2.25 has to be greater than 0.7. Distance to target. Distance to target. Yeah, this is an annoying bug. There is an easy fix here. There's an easy fix that doesn't involve messing with this logic too much. And I don't like it, but I will do it. After each step here, we can force the heads-up display to wait for refire, and we'll see if this effectively helps the issue. Kind of. It makes you less likely to put it back on the same spot. Okay. I don't love it, but I need to think about that some more. You know, another thing I really want to do that I think people would enjoy doing, I want to be able to like hack away the ground foliage. I think that would be fun. That's a polished thing, but I do think that would be enjoyable, an enjoyable experience. I actually don't like where that's put. Let's pick that up. Doop. And let's try again. Maybe a bit higher. And let's clean off some stuff. You can check out how the nighttime graphics look. So far, so good. Yeah, the terrain is even too bright at the nighttime. I need to figure out a way to... I think this is a simple, so there's a simple solution to this, and it's not going to change this playthrough, but just multiply the terrain color by like 0.9, I think. Oh, this is the snow imprinting. Okay. Yeah, let's do this. And actually what I'll do, because I want to test a couple things here. I want to test to make sure saving is working. Ooh, these are the glowy lights. I really like that, actually. I think that's nice. Let's test saving. Doop. What are you saying? You're still hanging out. Okay. Save. We're gonna make sure we didn't get no debug errors. And can you actually quit the game? Yes, you can. It's a little annoying. Oh, where's my navigation here? That's weird. Pause. Let's go to pause. Because that one should just work. Because this is an HBox container. And unless there's some weird focus, there is weird focus stuff. There is weird focus stuff. Do I need any of this? I don't think I need any of that. No, I don't. Okay, so we can now quit. Quit. Yes, quit. Check out reload. We do get the door audio sound when the game starts. I don't know if I care too much to change that. That's a little less bright, maybe. That might be a touch better. I won't mess with it too much, just out of fear of, you know, screwing with the whole thing. All right, so looks like tutorial picked up where we were. That's good. See the rest of the guide. Press lean to shelter, then close the pause menu. Okay, check. We do have another log on the ground somewhere over here too, don't we? Thought we did. A cache of logs has been stashed for you to help with the build. Check the map to find them. Oh yeah, these are now hard-coded to be in one spot. Uh-oh. Where'd they go? That's not good. I think perhaps what we need to do is pull that up a bit. Survival. Let's go to survival. Oh, crap. Yeah, I need to rethink this. Okay, so that is not going to work as it is. The tutorial cache. Yeah. It's hard-coded. No, that's not going to work because if the player is too far from that position, then the terrain won't be loaded. And if the terrain is not loaded, then the logs will fall through the terrain. TBD, yeah, no shit. To be determined. Let's just change this to game.character.position global position, and let's just add a 303 meters, and see what happens, because that's guaranteed to be in a place where now let's go a little further. Let's go 5 meters. 12 feet. Okay. Luckily for us, we just made a save point just before this, so we can actually retest that pretty easily. Don't have to restart the whole thing. Shouldn't have saved or overwritten anything in between then and now. I think some players are going to balk at the idea that you can only save like here in the log cabin, but I do think that's the correct approach for a lot of reasons. In sandbox mode, I'm going to open it up so you can save wherever. That's going to be the deal there. Where's my little... Here it is. Okay. All right, that worked way better. And in fact, we can go further. We can go further than 3 meters. We can definitely go even maybe 6 meters away. We probably should add 1 meter on the vertical. Let's test this out one more time. Just because I want them to like fall. It would be nice if they made a thump sound, but I don't have 3D spatial audio on the multiplayer objects yet. But that'll be nice once that's in. So, I'm also going to deliberately go stand in like a dense part of the forest and see if it generates in a weird spot or what. So let's say we're like right in the middle of a thicket. A thicket of trees. Alright, so if I do Bushcraft guide, that could be faster. I don't know if there's like a smooth scrolling option. Yeah, that's good. I think that's good. That one fell a little funny. But you know, that happens sometimes. Sometimes you can't change that kind of thing. Okay, that works nice. Good playtesting session today. Today was no programming anything else, no new features, no polish. It's just play the game. Oh, one thing I'm curious about is there's something weird happening with the tree system on load. And I don't know if it's every time or if it's just in certain games or what the deal is. Yeah. I hope people don't stare too closely at this, but this is a defect that I have not figured out how to fix yet. You'll notice some parts, the trees in the distance are detached from the terrain. And that's actually because the terrain at this distance is a lower res. So there's a little bit of artifacting happening here. I can't fix it right now. It's a deeper change. Yeah, otherwise I think it's alright. Okay. And did we lose our audio settings again? No, 60%. Okay. I really shouldn't allow you to pause the menu until the fade in is complete, but actually that fade in is too slow. I just decided that fade in is too slow. That's under HUD. Let's find fade in. Yeah. Where is this called from is the question. Character fade in 1.0. Time, let's change that to 0.7. Let's shave off 300 milliseconds there. It's just a little, it's just not fast enough. And there's no reason. It doesn't need to be slow. Oh, interesting. It just dropped the cache. What did I do then? Let's try this one more time. Yeah, I think that's a bit better. Maybe even... Yeah, no, that's fine. I don't want to go crazy with it. I can't remember. I always forget where my little spot is. Over here. Okay, so we're reading the thing. Lean to... Logs go flying. That is kind of hilarious, but at least we get a couple. That's fine. Okay, after the cross post is connected, lay down some lean logs. This is what I'm afraid that players are not going to understand the most. This is my biggest concern. What I actually mean by that statement. It does explain it in the Bushcraft guide. I will say that much. But I get it if people don't understand it at the same time. Because it's kind of terminology that I made up. Doop-a-doop-a-boo. Okay, everything's good. Everything's looking all right. The motion is so much nicer on a gamepad. And it reminds me, when I do the trailers and stuff, I 100% should be using the gamepad. Just because it just feels so much better. Like, it's probably looks smoother too. The sense is high. My analog sense is high, and I'm just realizing the game doesn't have a setting for an individual analog sense and a mouse sensitivity. So that is something to change eventually. Nice reflections there. We see the moon up there. Pretty good. Throw down a couple more here. I have done this so many times. That it's not even funny. It is no longer funny how many times I've built a shelter in this game. Yeah, that came out a little bit wacky. I'm curious why. Can these not be placed further? Oh, they can be. Yeah, they can be placed further. Just wasn't paying attention. The good news is that I don't hate it, even though I've done this probably 100 times, at least 100 times, which is kind of makes me wonder what I'm doing with my life. But, you know, there's worse things I could be spending my time on. Just building imaginary shelters in the woods, in the imaginary woods, not in the real woods. Because you can build, you know, imaginary shelters in the real woods too. Make a fort. Did that more than once as a child. That's working a little better. I feel like the raycasts are okay there. Ooh, okay. That has a that can still fall through the ground, which is not the end of the world, but it's annoying. We gotta find moss. Okay, so unknown game mechanic. I need a solution for this. I don't have one currently. There needs to be a way for players, like when they get a certain skill or whatever, to actually identify moss from a distance. And I don't currently have any planned way to do that. Because right now, you just got to run around and search for moss. Or if you're lucky and you can identify it. I lost my fort. Here it is. I should put a marker here, actually. Place marker. I guess I have my little cache of logs. So there it is. So if you can spot the green moss, you can actually see it. You know, and maybe I just need to put a shader on the moss to make it, like, as you get near it, it, like, glows green, I guess. But I don't want to make it too gamey, you know? Like, I'm worried about it being too, like, it'll take you out of the atmosphere of it. That's my concern there. But right now, finding moss is annoying, but it would be annoying as well in real life. You know, not every tree has moss on it, especially in frozen climates. The other thing I'm still not happy with is the branches are just still way too in your face. So I might need to tweak that. Running through the trees still is like, it's almost sensory overload. I think a lot of players are going to experience that, but I'm still working on it. Still working on a solution. We gotta make sure the shelter mechanics are still good. It is kind of cool. You can get in under here and like really fill in all the little gaps, which is satisfying, I find. It's probably okay. All right, so next we're making a fire. What's our coverage? Yeah, so we're getting decent coverage under here. I still don't know how to deal with the clipping. There's no intuitive solution to that because the game would have to like calculate the planes of, you know, the areas that the surfaces that you've built, which is, I did that actually before, and it's really non-trivial. And I did a video on it actually explaining how to do it. It's not that it doesn't work, it's just inconsistent sometimes. So like, you know, how do I prevent the player? So the player can't move through logs because those are, you know, static bodies. Yeah, there's definitely some annoying things here, but we'll see what happens. Okay, we got to get some tinder. All right, chop off some branches. Sweet. Locate a log from the cache to use for firewood. And crouch and hold R on T. Ooh, that's a wrong instruction. Oh no, that's okay. That's fine. For a second I thought it was incorrect, but it works in that case. Uh-oh. Yeah, I think there's something. Yeah, this is a code change that's needed. This has been a long time coming as well. So, how do I have this many pickup calls? Holy crap. Okay. That's fine. We'll do it. Pickup log, pickup bow. We'll do the same thing here. Okay, that's fine. Fine. That one already fixed. Pick up snowshoes. That one's fine. Pick up inventory enable, pick up tool enable, pick up tool. Let's do the same thing here, just because I'm tired of these type errors. Yeah. That one is fine. Okay. All right. I don't think that will crash the game at runtime, but yeah. Okay. Return to your shelter. Select Tinder and place it at the entrance of the shelter. Okay. Oh. That is a honest to God bug. Let's find branches placed. Oh yeah. This one is going to be a little painful to fix because I don't think we can fix this at runtime. Maybe we can. We'll see. Place branch. Branches placed count. Oh, okay. Yeah, this is just a typo. That's just a typo. Okay, maybe it's not so bad. I don't know if Godot can handle that kind of runtime change, though. We'll see. Oops. Oh. Oh, wow, okay. It recovered. Switch to the Flint and Striker by pressing LB. Crouch next to the tinder and light it with R. Release when the indicator turns green. There we go. Fire is looking fine. Your fire will go quickly without firewood, so we're going to place 1, 2, 3. Sweet. We gotta place down a few boughs. Yeah, okay, Collider's, bit of a problem. I think we can... I gotta look at this. How is the bow collider actually set up? Bow.t. Let's see, what does the collision shape look like? Oh yeah, so it's super tight to the mesh, which is not a problem necessarily. It was something I changed recently. Yeah. Okay. That is going to be something to tune. Let's see, what can we do here? So like that collision shape, I mean, I could put some padding underneath here, I suppose. Yeah, maybe even if we do that, maybe. Okay, of course that made them all disappear. If I put some more back down. Crazy. Okay. All right, so that needs to be play tested for real. That's like that's game breaking from a visual standpoint. Place bows on terrain too low. All right, we can artificially raise the terrain a bit too. That's a possibility. But right now that's not really serviceable. Oh, that is... Okay. Haven't tried sleeping in a while. That is totally broken. Wow. Okay, that first of all, that transform got messed up. That's weird. That's fixed. I have no idea what's happening. And why can we still do stuff? We should set the mode to prompt sleep. Okay, so there's a couple bugs here. Sleep is broken, and bows on terrain is too low. I did change some stuff with sleep, so that's my own fault. This doesn't need to be an RPC call if it's not co-op. This can just be... Yeah, but that's fine. Okay. Unfortunately, we'll need to stop the game to test this mechanic. Well, this is good playtesting. I did something to break sleeping, so that obviously needs to be fixed. Okay. I'm going to switch into debug just so I can hurry this along slightly. I think I made it so you can sleep in the cabin now? Maybe? No? I guess not. This one's looking a little shiny, but that's alright. Whoa, hello. Where did that go? Okay. Oh man, finding all the bugs. Finding all the bugs. It's... What the heck is it doing? It's dropping it where it picked it up. Okay, so this guy is a little broken right now. Let's go to single use, I think. Bedroll. Sure. Place active tool. Let's find out what's going on here. Oh. No, that's not the problem. cursor position. I can't be using cursor position here. That's the problem. Because the cursor position is still back here. Alright. Oh my god, this is hilarious. So many bugs. So, we're going to spawn the tool at this location T. Game cursor position. I think there's a function for this already. And I think this needs to be game character get drop position. I thought that's what that should be. So it goes facing, blah, 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 does a raycast if it needs to. Yeah. That's what that should be. Yeah, okay. That's better. Doesn't make a sound? Okay. I think it's because of the way that this works. Let's just do this. This won't affect this run, but for next time, place active tool, and then we'll do game.click 3. S click 3. Okie dokie. Oh, and I changed it. Okay, so that's fine. Sleeping is a hard one to test. I need to manually adjust the conditions. There's two ways to do it. Luckily, I have a debug menu for it. That should... those actions aren't in the right order. Let's fix that. Interact actions, bedroll. Bedroll. This order does not make sense. We're gonna swap that order. Okay. All right. It won't update until next time. That's okay. So we have a bedroll, right? I can now drop it. Yes. All right. Good. I can't sleep because I need a fire nearby. But what I'm gonna do is I have a debug for enable all actions. Okay. So, time to find out what the heck is happening when you sleep. Why is sleeping not working? I think I'm definitely missing something. Unroll. Sleep. Okay. So, this is not a co-op game. So, we are going to run this. We do get that. We're insulated. Sleeping is true. We're going to await 2 seconds. What the heck? Oh, it's because I had debug on there. You know what else we're going to do? Game.setState, game.prompt, game.state.prompt, game.setState, game.state. Explore. I think this will help. Maybe. Okay, we're going to try again. So, unroll. Sleep. Oh, take out the debug. Can't do anything. We can see the mouse cursor. That's fine. And then we go back. Okay. All right. Let's try it one more time. Sleep. Fast forwards the clock by some number of hours. Looks like about 6. Yeah, okay. Wait, what happens to him? Nothing, I don't think. I don't think time means anything to that guy. I think he just does his thing. Yeah, he's still right there. Okay. All right. That's that fixed. Let's take a look at bows because these are broken right now. Yeah, that's broken. And the problem, I think, is that the terrain is too far below. We could just pad this collider. That feels like an incorrect way to do it, though. Maybe this is all right. Yeah. Let's go to somewhere with elevation and make sure this still works. Also, I do think it will be fun once there is once there's skiing in the game, because you're basically going to be able to fly around this fast. On the ground, of course, but, you know, you take your wins where you get it. All right, so we're still, even with that increased collider size, we're still under. Man, oh man. Yeah, we really gotta... See, this is gonna create problems elsewhere, though. I can see that being the case already. I think... Even my feet are a bit low here. So the terrain itself is just a bit low. There's gotta be a happy medium. Like, for instance, now that we've done that, let's just throw together a little set upright. Let's do... Oh, that doesn't have a sound? Oh, come on. Set upright. We need sounds on these things. Yeah. Unsecure, secure, cut. I am going to do a pass on the sounds eventually, but right now, this is what we got. Set up right. Oh. Probably should add a function that actually exists. Yeah, there we go. Okay, that's fine. The problem with making big colliders is that it's going to look goofy, as we will probably see shortly. So the question is this... No, like, that is very wrong. Huh. Yeah, that's too much. So if we bring this back to here, let's pick these guys up. That is more reasonable. That is acceptable. But we should probably push it until it's no longer. Why is it? Come on, Godot. Don't fight me so hard, please. Please. Let's pick these up. Yeah, that's passable. There's a gap for sure. Oh, I don't know how to fix this. It may involve filling out this mesh a little more. I mean, I could. There's nothing really stopping me from doing like something like this. Just to fill it out a little bit more. And take one of these maybe. That one. Then the moss looks really weird. Something like that, maybe. Yeah, maybe that's more passable. Yeah, there's going to be a problem here on the slopes, I think. I don't know how to get around that. Let's try increasing it just a touch more. I don't know why it does this. I just want to move the one handle, not both. Like, why does Godot randomly decide to do that? Okay. I just want to drag one handle. Why? Why? Okay. There's always something. Always, always, always. I have a feeling that this is just a bug, sadly. Oh, now it's fine. See that? Now it doesn't care. Of course. Of course. Yeah, so we got to figure out what we can live with here. I don't think I'm going to get the mesh updates until next time, maybe. Okay. All right, I'm probably going to stop the stream soon. I think this was good. A lot of bugs fixed. Getting closer. Ugh. It would be nice to be able to actually finish the tutorial, like, honestly, without just skipping through it in debug. But beggars can't be choosers. Okay. Works there. Works there. Ooh, I forgot to test the moss, actually, now that I think about it. I didn't think... Okay, that's alright. And then the problem is on slopes. I think the problem is always going to be with slopes. Because I think the terrain is just a little bit screwy around slopes. I think I could bump up the terrain by a fraction of a meter. Oh, it's well behaved now. Where was it? Over here somewhere. I think they're real steep slopes. Let's try that. Yeah, like there. Like, why is it below there? Yeah, alright, well that's an improvement. We'll do this one more time too. This only takes a second. Let's go set upright. Yeah, it's quite a ways off there. I don't see any easy solutions at this time. The big collider helps with the terrain placement, but it makes the shelter building look kind of bad. Is this going to be one of those situations where I need 2 colliders? Oh my. Okay. Maybe. Yeah, I'm gonna have to investigate that.